What is going on, YouTube and y'all squad? This is your boy Yocrates. This is your review for The Real Housewives of Potomac, season 7. I believe this is episode 13. I don't know. It'll be in the title. But welcome. Here we are to do this thing. Also, um, the Whether You Like It or Not panel will be back here tonight. So last week it was here, but Terrence was hosting it, so I'll be hosting it tonight. So we should have a pretty good time. Yes, we should. Yes, we shall. And I know I owe y'all a whole lot. Things are busy over here, trying to get, things situated. But, hopefully I'll get y'all everything else. Now, with the power of the tongue thing, I'm probably going to turn that into a series because it's so much. And I want to make sure that not only are things done right, but I need to be in the right spirit before delivering a message because I don't want me to come across in it because it's not about me. He get the glory, not me. So yeah. With all that being said, let's jump into the review. So we start off with Karen and Ray, and I'm gonna try to breeze through a lot of the stuff that don't matter because I'm gonna be honest with you with the way that they ended it, which I thought that we were going to end with the Mia and Jacqueline thing. I didn't think that we were going to end with the Karen and Sharice thing, but there was enough filler to where they could have taken a lot of this out, and we could have gotten there, or we could have got an hour and 15 minutes, whatever. But Ray and Karen are talking. Ashley and Karen are going to host a Mexico trip. Ashley, Wendy, and Karen are going to go ahead of the ladies to ensure that the accommodations are good and everybody has the same room. All right. We get Giselle. She's on the phone with Robin. Now, what is interesting is with everything that Giselle has going on in her life, because we're about to find out right here, we ain't seen none of this. So you've had a real storyline this whole damn season, and but rather than us dive into it, you want to sit here and show us your girls and their birthday and them flying the nest, and then also you being in everybody's business when you could have had a real moment where you could have truly connected with this demographic, which is primarily African American women. Nevertheless, she had a biopsy. She's been monitored for 3 years. She has fibroids, something heavy, and there's so many that they're just going to have to do perform a hysterectomy. So it might be a partial, it might be a whole. She's kind of worried about it, doesn't know how the whole thing's going to be. Is she really going to be in pain? Like, it's a whole lot of uncertainty. And even though we've had women on the Housewives franchise talk about fibroids, it would have been nice had, mind you, not seeing all that intricate stuff because they can't show that, but show her going there, talking with the doctors, them walking her through it, letting her know these are her options, seeing her process it. This would have been good to have been a storyline, but whatever. So she quickly takes the conversation off of her, and now they begin to talk about Karen's event and how it really wasn't her event, blah blah blah, and then bring up Karen not inviting Sharice, and it being the thing, and it has to be something. And I'm sitting here like, hold up, but Robin, ma'am, didn't you not invite Wendy to your what was it, your low budget, family fun day where you had a budget of $100 and you walked away with 95? Like, do we not recall that? To the two of y'all tacky heifers, did y'all forget how y'all have been icing her out this entire season? Keeping her from stuff? Especially with the anyway, I'm gonna just keep it pushing because obviously the hypocrisy, right? And then we find out that Sharice dropped a video in the group chat. Now, apparently, allegedly, which is not surprising, there's more than one group chat, which I think we all know that. Like, because, certain clips are going to have their own individual ones. So there's the main. Oh, I think there's more than one, but obviously there's the main cast of this, that, and third. But in one of them, with the invite, Karen invited all the women to include Katie and Jacqueline, but Sharice wasn't in there. That's one group thread. Then you have the group thread with all, I'm guessing, everybody that's filming to include Sharice. So Sharice drops a video, I believe, of them in Miami where Karen and Mia were dancing with each other, and both of them had a boob slip. And I'm just like, okay, you got that. You kept it in your phone. and then you just drop it in the group chat. Like that's one of those where I feel like it would be one thing if she did it the night that it happened, because we can blame it on the alcohol. No, you wait and deliberately do this after you weren't invited to Karen's event. So there's malice there. That ain't cool. That really isn't cool. And if we're gonna be all the way 1,000, even though there was nothing sexual about this, you literally have a video in your possession of a place that is typically covered on a woman that is exposed, and you put that in a group chat. Now, what would happen if it was a man that had that video and posted it? We gonna keep on going. But yeah, we know why she did that, and that was horrible. And Giselle says she's going to make it her job to figure out what Karen's issue is with Charisse, because you're producing a show. That's all that is. So now we get Robin. Robin invites a tailor to come get the boys' measurements for the wedding. One of the boys, I believe it was Carter, says, I thought there was no wedding. See, this be the thing. Y'all got to brief y'all kids before y'all do these scenes, because they telling the truth. They telling the truth. I thought it wasn't one. Told on you. She asked them where do they feel they should do the wedding. The boys just like Jamaica. She gonna say Chesapeake Bay. I say the courthouse, because obviously we being cheap. I'm just trying to figure out why are you spending money on all this when y'all can sit here and y'all can go to what K&G or something like that. Okay, you can go to a little real cute bridal shop, get a little something, something, little hey, go to, because obviously you trying to be cheap with this, so just be cheap the whole damn way. You ain't even gotta do a whole lot, and then you can take that $95 that was left over from your family fun day and use that and actually have a little bit better of a spread for like a little reception, but whatever. And then we find out that she wants the wedding to be right before Juan go like starts his season, right? They got 40 days. Normally I wouldn't talk about it. I'm just putting it out there. And Robin ain't got a dress. See, this is why I skip over Robin's parts, because this don't make no damn sense. So now we have Mia, which I really want to skip through this, but we're gonna talk about it. So she is writing on sticky notes. Now her computer screen is blurred out. It looked like she was on Amazon or something, like she was shopping or whatever, but ain't none of my business. And she's talking with Gordon about some business and whatnot. And then Mia shares that Jacqueline is upset with her because she wouldn't set up childcare for her. And we found that Jacqueline's sister is both of their nannies. And Mia would tell Jacqueline last minute if she couldn't find, a sitter to just drop the kids off wherever my kids are, because, hey, it is what it is. And she says it's okay to do it every now and again, but not all the time. So first and foremost, you really can't be mad at Jacqueline because you have not set boundaries, because you have allowed this, because there aren't stipulations on this. So yeah, sometimes people are going to take advantage of it, because if that door is always open, it is what it is. Look, I'd let people know all the time, and this is the military in me, you need a PACE plan. Now for y'all, it's a plan A, B, C, and D. For us, it's what's your primary, thing to do. If that falls through, you need an alternate. If that falls through, you need a contingency. And then at the emergency. Me, if you calling me because you need, I need to be the emergency. Because I'm gonna ask you when you asking me, so who all did you, so you started here and you just stopped and you called me? Nah, I don't know if I can do that, because no, 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 I don't do all of that. So I can only feel but so sorry for Mia. So it's travel day. Obviously Wendy, Ashley, and Karen had already, made it there. You have Candace straight now. You have Jacqueline and Giselle sitting down. Candace walks straight up to Jacqueline. Jacqueline gets some hugs, so she don't even look. And Giselle don't say nothing to her. I'm like, there we go. Keep that energy. That's what we do. So Wendy, we find out because now, so we cut from those women in the airport to Wendy and them have actually made it to Mexico, and Wendy says she can drink, but she's supposed to drink, an abundance of water in general. And she laughs and we'll see if that happens. All right, now already found your butt up in the hospital and you're playing. So we find out on the plane that Jacqueline and Chicken Patty Face, which is Mia, then had a fight. Now Mia says all of this started at Karen's show where G had said they couldn't find Jacqueline's children, and Jacqueline was sitting right there when Gordon said that to Mia, and that made Jacqueline pissed. So then Jacqueline says, to us that Mia felt that she didn't communicate with her sister effectively. So then Mia says that those are your kids and not my responsibility. Technically, she is right, but sometimes things can come off a little crazy and whatnot. And even though I say that, look, siblings, I got them right. Even with my eldest, we ain't here. Regardless, those his kids, but they're also my responsibility, and I take them on as if they are my own. If something is going down, I'm stepping in. That's just what I do. Maybe it's because we're biological siblings. I don't know, but I'm just saying it's one of those where so I'm gonna let about that. But okay. So then Jacqueline says it takes a village to raise a child, and you wouldn't know nothing about that. Now look. That was a one hit quitter. My thing is, I want to know because it appears that that part was said on the plane. Because I'm trying to figure out how did this conversation of what happened at Karen's live event, what sparked that conversation to happen on the plane, and why would you have a conversation that that's going to be tense on a plane where y'all gonna be sitting there for a hot minute? And I also want to know, what did Mia say to Jacqueline for Jacqueline to say that? Because look, I let people know all the time. I don't care what your relationship is to me. You start it, I'm gonna finish it. And if you start talking to me crazy, I'm gonna give you a chance to walk it back. Because I'm gonna let you know it's you just paid for a ticket for me to perform. All right, and we in the stadium right now. I'm gonna give you this ticket is refundable. Now, once you walk through that door, you can no longer get a refund, and I'm gonna give you the show that you want. You should is what you want. Because everybody know my mouth is reckless. I know where the bodies are buried. I will take it there. You ain't even got, and don't even hit me with the whole yard. You ain't even need to say all that. No. You started with me, and this what it is. You don't tell me how far to go. You shouldn't have said nothing to me. So I really want to know, what did Mia say to Jacqueline for Jacqueline to say that to her? I just want to know. Anyway, Ashley is gifting the girls vibrators. Cool. Candy does it all the time. So on the bus, Candace initiates a conversation with the lady, asking them, like, have they ever looked at their pocketbooks in the mirror? Okay, so now we have Karen. We find out that Karen then got a veil for Robin and a flashlight for Giselle. And the whole flashlight thing, well, actually, I'll get to that later. Um, the remaining women finally arrive to the actual resort. There's a party for Ashley, in the little lounge, so they went straight in there. And then you have Giselle having to make everything about her having to be loud. She off beat, she's off center, ain't got no cool, making all the different noise like "Happy Birthday." Now they singing the Happy Birthday song. Why you being extra? Like, I swear, I can't stand a mug that will sit here and make something that ain't got nothing to do with them about them. But they let it happen. I don't care. So Jacqueline didn't want to sit next to Mia and vice versa. And then we found out that Mia has said earlier that Jacqueline ain't got no friends. Now I gotta do the play by plays. So Mia says that they are sisters and they argue all the time. Jacqueline says this is, the worst argument yet. Mia says, no, the worst is when you threw a brick at my head. Now I'm just like, wait, threw a brick 20 years ago. Now Jacqueline's whole thing is that's 20 years ago, which is cool. And obviously, maybe Mia still feels weird about that. But again, you can't do wrong by me and tell me when to get over it and if I should or shouldn't let it go. You don't get that right. But whatever. So Jacqueline says Mia has a lot of tension. She needs some more, uh, you know, eggplant. There we go. She needs some more of that. So Mia says, you should know. Do you want to go there? Don't try me. You feeling yourself. Back down. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of that. Now, this is one of those where it's kind of like what I was saying, give you the opportunity to walk it back, but that was very aggressive in how she was saying that. So Jacqueline says, no, you back down. And then this is when Mia says, all right, well, close your legs to marry men, which she ain't say which, but y'all know what word it was. And I was like, First and foremost, it's cute. Nene already said it. You could have like revamped that. That's number one. Number two, baby girl, wasn't Gordon married when you was messing around with him? Like literally throwing rocks, glass house. Don't do it. No, yeah. So keep your leg close to Mary Minute. Okay, so Jacqueline says, "I'm effing done with you. I have fought for you my entire life." I believe that's a stretch. You and you would do this. I would never sleep with your husband. Now, all of us got question marks at the top of our head because we all sitting back just like, she didn't say nothing about you sleeping with her. Like, are you incriminating yourself? I'm like, I don't know what's going on. So Candace goes to me. Now, I'm going to stop here. See, this is one of those things where you really got to peep how you be doing because you had Jacqueline caping for Mia this whole entire time, jumping in and being her mouthpiece and whatnot. Now she didn't fell out with Candace. She didn't fell out with Wendy and she semi fell out with Karen, but Karen just lets a lot of stuff go. You have Candace going to Mia saying, "Take your friend outside." Because she clearly sees like, y'all need to handle this separately, not in front of us. You have Candace trying to calm this down. You have Wendy going over to Jacqueline consoling her. Again, those two black queens better than me because I would never. I told y'all, I'm a little evil thing. I really am. Candace says to Mia, Jacqueline is crying. Now look, I ain't seen that damn tear. I saw a little thing right here, and she wiped it away. I ain't seen that damn tear. So I mean, she was visibly upset. I don't know if she was crying, but part of me also was kind of looking like, was this really real though, or was this just some good acting? Y'all let me know. So Candace says, yeah, says she's crying, and Mia says she doesn't care because remember, I don't do nothing for her kids, but they at my house right now eating up all my food. I'm like, oh, oh, like this is one of those where, yeah, I can't even say it. Never mind. Because if I say, because of what I want to say is like, why bring the kids into this? But I've often said if we go in there, ain't nothing off limits. So for me to say that, even though I didn't say it, that will make me a hypocrite. So I'm gonna let it go. So Jacqueline is saying, she like the whole relationship is done. Giselle says, "Oh, we're going to table this because yeah, we need to save this in case we see ain't nothing popping off, and we need to get something going because again, all the episodes got to be some form of explosive." So they go outside. There's a shaman. The only thing I want to mention is you have Sharice saying that she wishes happiness for everyone. Could have stopped right there, but now I gotta say take this positive thing and make a dig because she said because when you're truly happy, you don't have room for hate. And Karen says in her interview, now look, Karen been shady as hell in her interview. I just want for Karen to say at least half of this to these women's faces. But in this moment, I understood why she couldn't. But she says she don't know why this has been leprechaun keeps showing up looking for a pot of gold, some coins, some food, some friendship. I hollered. I did. But because it was supposed to have been a positive moment, I can see her not saying anything in the moment. So so the girls go to their rooms. Robin has her gift. It's a veil. She puts it on her head. I guess maybe she was gonna go outside and do like a photo op or whatever, but she's out there. The wind is blowing. The wind took it off. Like that veil was gone with the wind, fabulous. And Rob's just like, oh. And even says maybe this is a sign that I'm not getting married. It took an inanimate object and Mother Nature to let you know that. Oh, okay. So now we're at the dinner, and we find out Giselle went on the date. Look, I ain't talking about none of that until I see him at the reunion. I don't know. I don't even care about her filming scenes until I see him at the reunion. I ain't talking about her love life. Ashley don't know about her marriage with Gargamel. Neither do we. They talk about the gifts they got. Robin shares that the veil she had blew away, and Karen in her confession. I know why she didn't say it. I wish she would have said it. Tape. She said the veil was like, "Bye, witch. You ain't getting married." Heard this for 7 years, telling everybody this goddamn lie with that fake ass ring. Even the veil knew to get the F out the room. Ooh, now look, Karen and Robin gonna get into it later in the season, so I can't wait to see how that started and all the other stuff. Anyway, Giselle mentioned she got a flashlight because hopefully with the flashlight she can get her a brand new car. And me is like, that's not funny, and you clearly see that what's that girl name? Jacqueline is visibly upset by this because it's a joke at her too. So then Candace asked the other ladies, meaning Wendy, Ashley, and Karen, but mostly Ashley, even though I don't know why the hell you talking to Ashley. Candace. But as if they ever looked at their pocketbooks, in the mirror, whatnot, because she is looking at to see how it looks now before it gets stretched out from having children and all of that, and even talks about how she thought she was pregnant and also how she's going to go back and start the IVF. And all that's cool, but again, certain stuff like that, even though people got mad at Robin when they was in Miami, and how on the boat she didn't want to share anything personal because Wendy was sitting there and people got mad. But I understood. I'm not going to sit here and share intimate details in the face of my enemy. Now, other people can run back and tell them, and that's on them. I'm not going to do it. I would not have shared that in front of it or Giselle. But again, that's me. So then Giselle says she has a confession to make. Sharice, I did tell Karen you shared the video of her because you didn't get invited to her live show. Now, Karen, here's where you messed up, ma'am. I don't know if the producer told you that you need to give us a scene or whatever the case may be, but you know how this game goes because you've been paying Sharice does this whole season. You ain't have to say nothing to it, and she could have just been talking to herself. And you clearly see what Giselle is doing. So you let Giselle put a battery in your back. And you fell for the okie doke. So here we go. So Sharice says, it's not totally true. I didn't care about, not being invited. You're lying. Karen says that it isn't what you told me, saying that to Giselle. And then Sharice, when I posted it, did I think you may not have liked it? Probably not. Karen, says she didn't dislike it, but didn't like her not sending it directly to her because you're going around constantly asking me why we aren't friends, and this would have been a perfect, funny thing to send me, something for them to, kind of open their door, even though Karen is clearly lying, and we could have moved on. You are begging me to be friends with your ass. And she said your ass several times. I'm like, oh, this okay, Karen. So Sharice says, let's be very clear. And Karen's like, I'm extremely clear with you. Sharice, I'm good with us not being friends. I want you to be woman enough to say you don't want to be friends instead of going to other people saying stuff. And Karen says, no one has talked about your ass in years. And don't question my womanhood. Now, here's what I want to say. Based off of what the cameras are showing us, Karen isn't talking about Sharice. Now, if it's behind the scenes and we don't see it, probably. But from what we're seeing, Karen ain't saying nothing. It's Sharice that's saying something. So, Sharice, when I was going through a divorce, did you call me? See how I was doing when I lost my father. Did you call? Now, the marriage thing, I believe that was season one going into season two, or just season two. I'm not going back to watch season one or two, but I do believe there was some friction between them, which probably led to her probably not reaching out with the whole divorce thing and whatnot. Or was it no, I think the divorce was like really being like finalizing everything in season by the end of season two, but by then they were already beefing. If I'm right about that, if y'all already beefing and whatnot, I'm not. I'm one of those where I don't give a damn if somebody that I'm not reaching out to you. If I ain't messing with you, I ain't messing with you. It's really just that simple. You can get sympathy and compassion for somebody else. You ain't getting it from me. Again, I told you I'm cold. That's just how I am. Like if I ain't messing with you, I don't care what has happened to you or your family. Don't look over. Nope. Now I might say a little prayer for you, and that's between me and the Lord, but I ain't, you ain't gonna know. So then, so then Karen says, I text you and sent you my condolences. That is all I had to give you. Now, I'm here for that because I wouldn't have done that. Now, was that some nasty ish to say? Yes, it was. Was I here for it? Yes. Why? Because I'm petty. That's me. But again, I wouldn't even give you that. I really, y'all, and look, some of y'all think that y'all just be putting no, y'all really have no idea just how cold I can be. Like, when I'm done with you, I'm really done with you. It's nothing. Like, ain't no more conversation, ain't no nothing. All right. Like, if I was cool with the person that died, I can be there. And if that was your mama, whatever, I'm there because I know that person personally. I'm not hugging you. I'm not consoling you. Just you stay over there. I stay over here. I don't care. And then Karen says, because I had lost my mother as well. Now, right here, Karen, you done brought your mama up. Because it's about to be a whole thing. And unless editing cut some stuff out, let me just say this, Karen. Sharice ain't say nothing about your mama. And it appeared that you use your mother as a way of trying to win this conversation and to shut her down and shut her up when you just didn't have to engage her at all. Anyway, Sharice then said, so I'll go back to, so Karen said, I text you, sent you my condolences, and that's all I had to give you because I had lost my mother as well. Sharice says, I drove and I was there. And I think this might have been what really triggered Karen because Karen says, you were trying to get back in your friendship circle. Translation, you was trying to get your ass back on this show by virtue of you coming to my mother's funeral and whatnot. Even though her parents, if I'm not mistaken, had both passed once the season wrapped, but before the reunion had started. Like, I believe her father had just passed right before they shot that reunion. I believe that was season 4, maybe. And Cherie, I'm sorry. So Karen says you were trying to get back. I said that already. So you were trying to get back in your friend circle. I'ma check your ass. You gonna keep my mother's name out of your mouth. Do you understand that, Cherise? I'm not talking about your mother. And look, I don't see it for Cherise. I don't. I'm on Cherise's side. She again, unless something was cut out, she ain't saying nothing about your mama. So then Karen says, you are, and this is not your end into this group. This ain't your way of getting back on the show. And then she says, my mother has been gone for 5 years, and what you will not do is mess with my mother. I will whoop your ass. Again, I don't know how we got here. How did we get here? Maybe y'all can let me know in the comments. At this point, we got hands slapping on the table, fingers pointing, doing this, trying to get over to somebody, and that's where it go off. So look, I really like. I could have gave y'all this in half the time because I really could have skipped over a lot of the beginning stuff. But I want to give y'all a thorough review because my previous reviews have been a little bit short because I was just trying to get through it. So I want to give y'all the fullness of it. So that is all that I have. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I can't wait to see you all here tonight at 8:15 Central. I'm gonna be on time now. Everybody else I don't know about, but I'm gonna be here on time. So with that being said, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share, and I will see you all later on tonight. Peace.